Coming off of one of the hottest cold streaks you've ever seen from a Major League Baseball player that saw contact after contact go absolutely nowhere but a player's mitt, Chacha Vauzz looks to crack the code. And with a stretch like what we've seen here from Vauzz with several 0-for games, despite making some hits, I think he found out what the problem was. And all he had to do was simply Google what was happening with him, and apparently to Google, he found out plate discipline is why he keeps completely missing on really good timing. So Chacha Vauzz looks to massively increase that plate discipline up by 10, and that'll take his overall from 74 to 75 as we get today underway. We'll be testing out how well that improvement does against the Mets before we return to St. Louis to face the Brewers and the Reds. And it is the latter of those two that are behind the Cardinals. Meanwhile, the Cubs and the Pirates have taken control of the National League Central. But with that plate discipline, perhaps the Cardinals and Chacha can once again rise. And also looking to rise is that batting average as we jump on into action here in Citi Field playing against the Mets. Chacha Vauzz is batting second in the lineup today with a runner on first against Senga. Chacha Vauzz looks to get that plate discipline going, taking that sweeper inside the zone. With some good pitches from Senga, have the count 1-2. Two inside that strike zone, one outside, matches the count for Chacha. And then he gets hit. He never even has to swing, and he reaches base, putting 2 on for Ivan Herrera, who, despite us never seeing him ever get a hit, has a higher batting average than Chacha Vauzz. And he's going to reach here, taking ball 4. So the first 3 reach for the St. Louis Cardinals against Senga. And the bases are loaded with the count full for Nolan Gorman. And he takes that one just off the plate. A walk trots on in the first run of the game. Leaving the bases loaded here for Alec Burleson with nobody out. This one looks to be a bouncer. Catcher gets in front. No chance to run on that for Chacha. But he'll have plenty of opportunity in this inning with these bases loaded. He gets that step or two closer. That one is down in the dirt. Chacha will run on home as it is a double play that still plates a run. A 2-run lead for the Cards. We'll carry that plus 2 more on into bottom of the first. Tyrone Taylor stepping up to bat here with an 0-2 count. 1 out against Sonny Gray. Chacha Vauzz has been pretty good from the field. His outside of his base stealing has been his highest percentage of anything. And he'll make this one a clean throw to the mitt. From there, we'll turn our attention back over to the plate. Top of the second, we are back up here. No one on 2 outs, though, this time for Chacha Vauzz. Swings at that 4-seamer. It was down the middle, but again, we do see the good timing with weak contact. We still have a lot of improvement to that plate discipline, but it's not a promising sign. Getting a piece of that one, though, Chacha slices it into left field. It's not a big hit, but all of his hits of late have not been big, but reaching base twice out the gate here. Once hit by pitch, and another one with a bloop down in left. Puts another man on here for Herrera. Walked last time. Chacha just about the only one in that first not walked. Takes his extra step. As he's looking for the extra base, that one is popped up. Doesn't matter. Keep on running. We got 2 outs here. And awkwardly turns second and run to third as the ball is caught out in center. Once again, Herrera not quite getting a hit behind Vauzz. However, with that lead, though, intact, we won't complain too much. We jump forward. Another batting opportunity here. Top of the fourth. Man on of a beautiful sunset. Chacha laying off that fork inside. Frankly, I don't know how Senga has stuck in this game so long. 3 straight balls with that second one barely missing the zone. Runner advances to third. Red light here for Chacha as he takes a walk. 4 straight balls for Senga. I think it's about time the Mets get him out of this one unless the bullpen is just cooked, in which case they're letting this man go. Herrera back up to bat here. 295 somehow still, despite the fact that we've never seen him get a hit. And this one will be a dribbler. And once again is not a hit for Herrera. So we're still waiting for that. At some point, he's got to smash a grand slam or something in a primetime game. But for now, we digress as we move forward to top of the 6th. We got another runner on here for Chacha Vauzz as we do have a new pitcher on the mound. And Chacha swings at that one. Was on the outer part of the plate. Good timing, weak contact. Jose, he's in charge of this count right now as we go 0-2. Chacha swings through that 4-seamer. Got a battle back here. That'll be an easy take. Outside and well high. Of course, we've seen Chacha swing at plenty of those in the past, so it's a good take for Vauzz as he waits for pitch 4 here. And the circle change will sit him down. He swings early at that one. Wasn't a problem with the contact, just a bit early. I think it's the first time Chacha hasn't reached base in this game in any which manner he has. Moving to bottom of the 6th, runner on here for the Mets for Pete Alonso. Sonny Gray, pitch number 76, looking for a double play to get out of the inning. And this one will be hit sharply over to short, who gets in front of it but bobbles it. And will not even make the play at first. An error. Puts 2 on here, bottom of the 6th. They would only manage to score one of those players as we go top 8. We also tack on another run. With a runner in scoring position, it's 5-1 against Nunez, and Vauzz misses that circle change. He's going too early on those, and that's why he's missing the contact entirely. 0-1. Gets a piece of that 4-seamer, but weak contact sends it foul. 0-2 count here with 1 at the bottom, 1 at the top. What does Nunez have here? Pitch 3. Inside. If he goes outside here, he would have crossed the plate. Count goes 1-2. Top of the 8th, 4-run lead here. And Chacha again with that circle change. Just has to sit on those a little bit more, but it would have been a strike either way. But as we do move forward, there's 2 on here for the Mets, trying to attempt a bottom of the 9th rally with 1 out. Double play could be used here as that is hit over to Chacha. He'll get the tag, look to make both outs himself, and he will. Don't know if that really makes up for the fact he had 2 strikeouts in this game. But we win 6-1, and we only managed to do that twice in the entirety of our last episode. So we take that, taking a series lead out the gate. And every little bit of good we can manage will just go towards that plate discipline and helping increase what was apparently a very weak spot in our game. Game 2 underway here as Chacha leads off with a perfect slap into the outfield. Just a single as he doesn't get that much power or angle underneath it, but 101 out of the infield. We'll take that. A nice crack of the bat leaves Michael Hellman up here batting number 2. 256 average as Chacha not looking to advance at all here. This one will be down in the dirt, but well blocked by the catcher. I don't know why we weren't allowed to get that extra lead, and steal on that would have been pretty easy. Perhaps we'll have that opportunity this time with the extra step for Chacha as he's going. That one is going to be hit, and it will be an out at first, but Chacha advances to second, taking away a double play opportunity. Once again, leaves us up to the hopes of Ivan Herrera. We would love for him to get a hit. We are begging for him to get a hit. As Vauzz advances here, that one is going to take a nice little pop-up going back even more. But Chacha has to get back over to second. If he waited earlier, got back earlier, he probably would have been able to advance on that. But he flies out to left field, now leaving us up to Nolan Gorman, who we still are doing much better than, so it was a smart decision for the Cardinals to bring up Chacha Vauzz as he goes again. That one is down. Chacha turns again awkwardly with the pause at third, but is well in ahead of the throw. An RBI single for Nolan Gorman. Once again, the Cardinals take an early lead, 1-0 through the top of the first. Now to the bottom as Tyrone Taylor, batting .293. Steps up to bat. We got Littell on the mound, looking to get out of this inning quickly here. One out with a bouncer over to Chacha, trying to take a few steps in and make that throw as he steps into the infield grass. Well, following the play in the field, how about a dynamic opportunity here as it is a lead now for the Mets. So the second did them well. Top of the third, we lead off, and that means Chacha Vauzz, he needs to get on base. And we see anywhere from 95 down to 76 on that sweeper. Sean with a pitch. Chacha cranks that one well foul, a 105 exit velo. That one was just shaded inside the middle. And getting a piece of that one, the spin from the pitcher will not work, nor the second baseman. And all those times that we were hitting the ball straight to a defender last episode, Chacha now getting in between the defenders, even if it is just by a hairline. And that puts us on once again for Michael Hellman. Had a ground out in that first inning. Want to make sure that we take away the double play as best we can. Chacha gets that extra step. Pitcher looks his way twice, doesn't go his way. As this was hit to third, it will be another double taken away from Chacha Vauzz as Hellman advances him to second. Before Herrera, who had that fly out again first inning, he has another opportunity to bat Chacha around. It was a deep hit to left field, warning track kind of power. Chacha, he goes as this one again is going to be popped up, but having to return to second, that one barely leaves the infield. So far, it's been almost a rinse and repeat from the first. So Nolan Gorman, how about a single and an RBI as Chacha gets that extra step? Pitcher still not going his way as Chacha goes 2 out, so might as well make our way home as the lookalike ends there. Flown out to left field. Chacha left stranded as he was making his way around third and headed towards home. But again, dynamic challenge, so a lot of similarities here, but it also stays looking alike as the Mets add another 2. So for Chacha Vauzz with 2 outs here in the top of the fifth, there's only one thing to choose. That's to try to do something with a little bit of some power. Gonna sit on that sinker low, though. Meanwhile, we're trying to hit a home run. Sean here doesn't want us to have any chance at that. Everything has been low. Count. 1-2. Make that 2-2 as he sits on the circle change low outside. And getting a piece of this one, it's not home run power. It'll be a fly out here for Vauzz to right field, this time not reaching base, the first time in this game. As we move forward, it seems like it has only been Chacha Vauzz who's done anything today, as no runs have scored for St. Louis outside of Vauzz. 4-1 is still your ball game here. Top of the 8th, A.J. Minter's checked in. And that's going to be a foul ball and another good bit of timing. Weak contact for Chacha Vauzz. But Minter, he is giving him things to hit here. 2 fastballs in the mid to upper part of the zone as he's setting up one of those off speeds. An 0-2 count. Chacha was waiting for the off speed, and the 97 gets blown by him. That'll be a strikeout and brings this game to a close. Mets respond, picking up the win game 2 in a 4-1 win, sending this to the final game of the series. But for Chacha, it has been a good series, a bit of a rebound from last time out. Can we finish strong and lead this team to a series dub? We haven't had one of those in a stretch. Montas on the mound. Oh, and that splitter dips under the bat of Chacha a little bit early as he misses the contact. Count goes 0-1. Gets a piece of it this time, but it's going to be a fly out almost directly to where the center fielder was standing. Not a hot start there from Vauzz. We move quickly then to top of the third as someone has scored outside of Vauzz. We take a 1-0 lead. Frankie gives us one to hit. It didn't sound too strong off the bat. And will be another fly to right field. But we are making at least some contact. Can't complain about that. To take contact over the strikeouts, though we did spend a lot of time last episode complaining about that contact. Juan Soto stepping up to bat here in a one-run game as we've tacked on one. They've tacked on one. Easy math is 2-1. Vauzz covers the gap as it looked like it was a shift here from the defense. Retiring Soto. And a dynamic challenge coming off of that out as the Mets have taken the lead. Top of the fifth. We're back up here with no runs on. 2 outs. Does Chacha Vauzz feel like he has some power? Stepping up here against Frankie. We've seen a variety. He's got a 98 down to an 83 with that slider. See if he gives us anything good. Fouling off that fastball just below the middle part of the zone. Good timing. Weak contact. And strike out Chacha. It was the high fastball. He wants those to be a little bit higher. You want the faster pitch as that leads to a higher exit velo. But he just swung underneath it. That takes us to bottom of the seventh. Mets still in charge. Brandon Nimmo stepping up to bat. He's got nobody out. Man on first. Zach Thompson could really use with a double play here, and we could use with some hits as well. As that one will be hit sharply. Chacha's going to have to lay out for this one. Get in front of it, which he will, but it's off his glove. Going to have to spin to try to make the play, but it will not be in time. Keeps the runner, though, at second rather than turning towards third. Don't know if that's something to hang our hat on or not. I would err on the side of probably not, as they would tack on those runs, make it 5-2. Top of the eighth. Chacha, we could use with you getting at least a single here. It's Danny Young. And that sweeper was nasty. It hung up for a second and then dipped. And he hits Chacha with that on back-to-back pitches to go down 0-2. Lays off that cutter that was left well high, and that is something to give props to Chacha. He likes those high pitches. Count 1-2 here for Young as Chacha waits. The sweeper gets him the third time. It just hangs, and then he swings, then it drops. And so does that batting average. That leaves the game up then to Nolan Arenado, who's 2 for 3 in this one. No one on, though, 2 outs, and we are down 3 as Edwin Diaz is trying to close this game out. That one hit to short. Will be a throw to end the game, and the Cardinals drop another series, making that a stretch of 4, where they have yet to really build anything consistent. And that is even for Chacha Vauzz. With the strikeouts we saw in that series, once again, that is back on the rise above 25%. We had that down to 24.6. We got to correct that moving into this next series. To help us try to do that with our 6 tokens we have here, we'll look to go back into the plate discipline, bumping this up as quickly as we can. It's up to 53. As we head into this series against the Brewers, they are now just 3 games behind us in the win column, though 4 in the loss column. So we're going to average that out for 3.5 games. Reds, they're just 2 behind with the losses. So we've got to turn things around here quickly if we want to at least stay middle of the pack. But returning as well to St. Louis. Hopefully that will help lift the team's spirits, able to see their families and not be on the road, as this is, I believe, our 3rd straight series without a break in between. Hoskins stepping up, and we've already got some problems out the gate here. Top of the first, 2 on, 1 out. A double play could be massive here for our Cardinals, as that's going to be hit over to Chacha, who will dip the glove, get the tag, spin, looking to collect the out, and will have it in time. Chacha gets us out of the jam and keeps this game leveled up at 0. Now can we see him get something done from the plate? That average down to 273. As he's batting second here in the lineup. Tobias Myers on the mound. 2 pitches all it took for that first out. It'll at least be 2 here as he sits on that 4-seamer high. Chacha Vauzz, he's looking at a range of 95 to 80. No, actually check that, 76 with that 12-6 curve. And they go with that fastball low that they call a strike. Technically, kind of clips the zone, barely. Gonna lay off that one. The slider's inside. Should be a 3-0 count here, but 2-1 to Chacha. Facing Tobias Myers with a lucky call on that second pitch. Gives one for Chacha to hit, but it's weak, slightly early on the cutter, 90 mile an hour down the middle. And crushes that perfect right back down the middle. We've seen a couple perfects today. They've just been singles. But catching his groove back at the plate, we will take it. Putting one on here for Vaughn Herrera. We know he normally does not like to give us anything good. So Chacha, you got to act quickly here if this is to touch down, which it will. He's trying to leg this all the way to third, but out at the base. A good throw from Mitchell. It came down to the wire as Chacha ran aggressively there, trying to spark something with this team. But it was just a great throw. And we'll have a dynamic challenge off of that then, immediately trying to make up for it as the Brewers start early here. 4 runs in the top 2 innings. Well, we got a man on second here for Chacha Vauzz. We need to try to get back some of those runs then, especially since we missed a chance as we finally had Herrera get a hit, but got caught out at third. 12-6 drops into the top outer part of the zone. Count goes 0-1. We've got a little bit of speed at second as well, 73. Vauzz sits on that cutter low, called correctly. A good battle between these two as the count 2-2 with very tight pitches around the zone outside that changeup outside. Myers gives Chacha one to hit again on the outside. The circle changes, fouled off, just getting a piece of it. Chacha a little bit ahead of it. Count stays 2-2. And another foul ball on the 4-seamer. And strikeout on the circle change. The changeup there from the speed difference gets Chacha. He was ahead of it. Looked like it would have made contact if he waited on it a little bit. Game stays 4-2 Brewers. But another challenge here for Chacha Vauzz. Bottom of the 5th. Another runner on. At second, though down now by 4. We really need to drive in some runs here. It was a good battle last time against Myers. Just look at the paint across the board. Nothing really high from him, though. And Chacha is going to send that one pretty high into mid-center field and caught. Runner will not advance. Chacha, he learned his lesson last time, trying to get that extension to third. Why not tack on another dynamic challenge then here? They're giving us several opportunities. Bottom of the 7th, this time runner on first, and 2 outs. Chacha Vauzz, he's feeling like the team really could use with a pop here. As it's Nick Mears checking in, that 99 down to 79. See what he has here for Chacha. 4-seamer down the middle, he whiffs at. He was a little bit late, but he also missed the ball entirely. And crushes that one, or at least it sounded like it off the bat. Runner, though, tracking back and left, misses. Chacha once again is digging in, will be safe at third, sliding in a triple, plates the run. It's not a home run, but it was about, 15 feet from leaving the park, maybe out and left. That might be a little bit of a favorable call on that. 90 feet away, though, leaves Chacha. And at this point, we really need that hit from Vaughn Herrera. We messed it up the last time. Do it for us again here. Chacha extends that lead just to get in the head of the pitcher. Count 2-2. Looks to be down in the dirt, but blocked by the catcher, so Chacha back over to third. Count now goes full here, 3-2, with Vauzz waiting to bring this one home, and well, he will run home. He'll step on the plate, but it will not count, as Herrera is out with a pop fly to third. At least played the one and got another dynamic challenge here. Bottom of the ninth, we are 2 for 4. And we need 5 runs with only 2 on, though nobody out. You would love to drive in all the runners here. Aaron Bummer, he's on the mound. And he doesn't have that overpowering speed. Going to have 96 with that 4-seamer. All the way down to an 80 with a curve and sweeper. And it's a sinker that Chacha fouls off. And perfect again. Left field, Chacha rounds first. He'll be in at second. Runner, those going home, and is caught well in front. Who are you, Chacha Vauzz, trying to leg out something you probably shouldn't have? But we get the perfect swing, and that puts us 180 feet away. For Ivan Herrera, we could really use with a home run jack right here. 1 for 4 on the day. Chacha's in scoring range, and he's going to get a little bit closer with an extended lead. Bummer's looking his way, but doesn't throw his way. A dribbler then, as Chacha is going to try to leg this one out well ahead of that throw. Makes this a 3-run game with 1 out to spare. And it's Nolan Gorman, who's 0 for 2 today with 2 walks stepping up to bat. Trevor McGill has had to come on in here as we dominated that last pitcher. 2-1 count for Gorman. And he pop flies. Catcher just has to spin around in the same spot to end the game. Well, Vauzz gave us a chance with 2 on. But once again, we come up short. Brewers take the early series lead, picking up the dub in St. Louis. But can we continue the batting that we saw in that last game? Chacha leading off here for the Card in game 2. Actually, check that, batting second. No 1 on, though, for Chacha. As he goes first pitch swinging, will this bloop down? No, it won't. Second tracks back. Records the out. It's not a hot start here for the Cardinal this time. But we will have a big opportunity come our next at-bat. Zach Gallen on the mound. I feel like that's not who we started this game against, but he is a starting pitcher, so I don't know. Maybe I just didn't check. A man on the corners here for Chacha Vauzz. Got to bring them home. And that fastball looked like a meatball. Good contact, but it drifts foul. Count goes 0-1 in favor of Gallen with a high fastball to follow Chacha. Laid down a bunt, it goes foul. Count now 0-2 then. We'll sit on that circle change below the zone. It's gotten us before, it doesn't get us this time. Count goes 1-2 for Chacha. And the bunt goes foul. He laid it down a little too late. It will be a swinging strikeout. Technically, I don't like that rule, but it's what it is. Chacha is out, leaving the man on third. On top of that, he also left the man on first. And it is a bigger lead now for the Milwaukee Brewers. 4-0. It doesn't seem like the pitching's been there. The hitting has been inconsistent for this team. As we'll take that slider inside. That one, though, is at a good spot to hit. It's good timing. It's not weak contact, but it's not good contact either. A fly out to center. In the bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. We're running out of outs to play with here. Though with a dynamic challenge. We lead off the bottom of the 8th. We are 0 for 3 in this one with a strikeout and 2 flyouts. Though technically one of those is more of a foul out. But no one's on here. Chacha, that means you've got to get on base against Brian Hudson. Specifically brought in to face you. What do you got? 94-79 is the speed. And that fastball will get by him. He just missed on that one. Catches up, but fouls off the pitch almost in the exact same spot to follow. Count 0-2 for Vauzz. and then he gets beamed in the lead shoulder. Well, Chacha will get on base, and that will be challenge complete, even though he was not doing well in that challenge. But he's on with an extra step. Vauzz, he's going to second, as that one is going to be spiked on into the outfield. Chacha, you took too long to round. What? Did he catch that? Definitely thought that bounced, but apparently it did not. So double play didn't matter. The awkward step there from Chacha, and the Brewers will take the series. Something the Cardinals are really looking to avoid, but it looks like they are going to go from first here in the NL Central all the way down to the bottom at this rate. And for Vauzz specifically, with that hit by pitch, he technically goes 0 but does at least get on base, which will help out the on base percentage and the OPS. But overall, no hit in game 2. Peralta in game 3, and Chacha, that one's foul. We've definitely seen him work a little bit away from the just sitting on these first pitches. He gets a contact on that one. Rolled over, though, as second stretches it out. Gets the out at first. I think the main thing here for Chacha is he's really just focusing more on the pitches, making sure that they're going to be strikes, or at least ones that very much look like they're going to be. He's just playing a little bit more patiently. It's a plate discipline, really, that we are seeing, as Chacha is very lucky that that is not an error, because it was very close to being one. We'll look to get back on track there. His head was floating away. But it is 1-0 here for Milwaukee, as the fastball just above the zone is fouled off. It's a quick 0-2 count because, yes, Chacha swung at that slider low. Those off speeds. Gets a piece of that circle change as it comes in about 6 miles an hour faster than it did in that last series. Peralta here, pitch 40. And Chacha can go join the bench as he swings and misses at the circle change outside. We'll have a dynamic challenge coming off of that as we are down 4 runs here, bottom of the 6th. We lead off. Chacha Vauzz, we need you to get on base here, get a hit. We're 0 for 2 in this one. That average down to 276. Peralta gives us an inside fastball, but Chacha just whiffs on it entirely. So still got to work on some of that plate discipline in this one. He's a little bit early, but going to send it straight to center field. An easy pop fly. Good news, though, as we go top 8. We do find a couple runs, still trailing by 2. As Nunez steps up to bat here. He's 0 for 3, though, has a man in scoring range. Ryan Fernandez has checked into this game. We just need an out at first. And it will be hit pretty squarely over to Chacha. Takes a few steps in. And that throw will be a whole lot cleaner. As we then go bottom of the 8th, Chacha, he's back up. Brian Hudson on the mound here. Still down 2. We need to get on the bases. Give us a chance at trying to come back in this game. We'll start by just letting that cutter fly by. And so far, Hudson doesn't really want to give us anything good outside of that fastball in the zone. We fouled it off. That leaves the count 3-1 here for Chacha. Make that 3-2 as the sweeper comes in. It's good timing. Weak contact. Count goes full. What do you got here for us, Huddy? Well, we're going to foul that one off well above the net and almost, in fact, I think it did reach the concessions. Count stays 3-2. Really need a hit here from Vauzz as he sends it down the third base line and misplayed out and left. Chacha is going to look to run out a double here, getting a man in scoring range for Herrera. Or actually, no, check that. It's Victor Scott batting behind as we're batting leadoff in this one. All right, Scott, you're 1 for 3 in this one with a single. A single would do for Chacha's speed. Not getting any extra step here. And that one looks to be a bouncer. Chacha was tagged out as he was looking to run home. I think he tried to distract the third baseman, didn't think he would make the play. I don't know what that was. Chacha definitely could have sat. There would have been an out at first. Either way, he would have been in better scoring position. leaves this game then to Nolan Arenado. In the bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, no one on. McGill gives him a pop fly kind of a hit. Catcher steps up, and that is a Milwaukee Brewers sweep. Exactly the opposite of what we needed to do out here at home. We just keep dropping games. This team is a long way from making it to any sort of postseason play. Well, that's actually not the final game of this series. It's actually a 4-game series. Well, no chance for us to actually come back and win this one. William Contreras, he's stepping up to bat, as Littell here has already given up a run in the top of the first. So not a good start here for the Cardinals. Vauzz, though, he'll come over and collect that ground ball and make the out at first. But we do have a chance to improve our batting in this game, and we will take that with a man on first. Nobody out. Chacha, he's batting second. Woodruff on the mound, though, for Milwaukee, as he's looking over his shoulder. Going to Chacha, who misses the circle change. Was just a bit ahead of it, but he also completely missed on the swing. Contact still very much off. We'll look to continue improving that plate discipline as he fouls off the sinker. Both of which, though, technically could have been strikes. Umpire has his way, though. And Vauzz gets a piece of that one, though, is a bit behind. Weak contact again, and it'll be a fly out to center field. We'll get another opportunity here. Bottom of the third. Chacha Vauzz, no one on. Milwaukee still only has that 1-run lead. Woodruff pitch number 32, and Vauzz fouls off another with good timing. You guessed it. Weak contact. Gets a little bit more of that one, though, but only a few steps behind for the left fielder. A fly out there for Chacha Vauzz. As we do jump forward, come top of the fifth, some other guys not getting flyouts. We take the lead. And Vauzz, he misses 2 straight pitches here to make the count go 0-2. Woodruff has had his stuff in this one. But that circle changes well outside. Chacha will even sit on that. Count goes 1-2. Make that 2-2 with a fastball high inside. Working this one back level. Chacha Vauzz gets a piece of that one as it will find grass down in left field, and having to pump the brakes there at first. He's not going to try to make that one a double. But a single gets Vauzz at least on the hit column in this one. Von Herrera behind. He's batting .283. We've seen that drop throughout this episode and last. But for Vauzz, he'll look to get into scoring range for him and try to take away a double play. As Woodruff goes home, Vauzz goes to second, and he will be well in front of that throw. Make that stolen base number 14 for Chacha Vauzz. No extra lead this time, as that one is scooped, but will be an easy play for left field. How about Nolan Gorman then? Can he bring Chacha home, extend our lead here, and make sure we don't get swept this time as we thought we did at the end of that last game? Vauzz extends his lead here. Woodruff checking him, but goes home as Chacha looks to go to third. Ends up digging on into home. The throw is not in time. Chacha runs it out, and it will be an RBI for Gorman on a pretty weak hit. Though Milwaukee immediately ties the game. That is what we love to see. A little bit of sarcasm if you didn't catch it. With 2 on, 2 out, this one will be hit over to Chacha, keeping this game level with a clean throw that again is higher than where the reticle was. At this point, we just want to make sure we keep this tied, if not take a lead here with a dynamic challenge. No one on for Vauzz, bottom of the 7th. And it's going to be the same for him pretty much every time this is the case. We just want to make sure we've got someone on base. That will find the bottom third of the zone. And jammed hit here. It is a little bit late and a little bit weak. No lead off this time for Chacha Vauzz. But of course, come bottom of the 9th, Milwaukee once again would take that lead. They're up 2. We've got a man on first. Nobody out. As we've got the Cardinal over there trying to hype up the crowd. McGill, what do you got here for us? 102 as the high, 83 as the low. And Chacha is going to have to slow down a little bit here, though. Runner should be able to make his way over to third. We're going to push for it here. Still getting that double. If the runner kept going as soon as that ball was hit, I understand why not, but that could have been an RBI. A good pop, though, from Chacha puts 2 in scoring range, and we were hoping Herrera would have a home run in a key game. This could be it. To walk it off, we just need Herrera to smash a home run. It's simple as that. It's a whole lot simpler to say than do, as that one is going to be a ground ball that will not get a single, but it plates 1. For McGill, that leaves Chacha the tying run 90 feet away. Nolan Gorman brought us home last time. Can he do it again? Vauzz gets an extra step here, putting a little pressure on the pitcher. This one is going to be down in the dirt, but looks to be blocked and is. Vauzz back over to third. We've got to get one here to extend this game. Bottom of the ninth, 5-4. Chacha 90 feet away. And there's some contact. Chacha got to get back here. Not going to look to advance, though, on this one. Playing too shallow. Though leaves us with just 1 out to play with. And it's Victor Scott. 2 RBIs on the season. He's batting .222. Vauzz gets a little bit closer. And he gets a little bit closer. This one is in play, and it doesn't get by the shortstop. Indeed, it is a sweep, and perhaps Vauzz should have looked to tag and just see if that speed was enough. What was enough was those losses to send the Cardinal to the bottom. The Reds, Brewers, Cubs, and Pirates have decimated this Cardinals team, as they've been on a massive losing streak. 6 in a row. Brewers have won 8 in a row. It's not looking too good here in St. Louis. But what can brighten our spirits is a fancy new piece of gear here. Do we have anything good? No. But we do at least have 9 tokens, all putting them into plate discipline but 1. We're massively seeing that increase. We started at a 40. It's up to a 57 now as we jump into our final series. Now, it's always been something here in this series, and in fact, right now, it's Chacha has rebounded from his hottest cold streak we've ever seen. He's playing consistent. However, those around him really have not. And the Reds with Ellie De La Cruz, the man that Chacha Vauzz has really tried to form his game around. Batting average is pretty similar. RBIs might be pretty similar there as well. But we're just not getting the job done. And against the Reds, we do really need to if we're to get out of bottom of our division. With a little flip there, we get the double play on Ellie De La Cruz. Get a little bit of some revenge because he's turned some of those on Chacha Vauzz. We'll look to avoid as many of those as possible. Chacha batting .280 here against Andrew Abbott. And it'll be a 1-pitch at bat as he skies up the 4-seam fastball on the outside bit of the plate. But we will have a dynamic challenge coming off of that as we quickly try to rebound. Down 3, bottom of the third. Already a horrible showing for the pitching staff. Chacha Vauzz has been a little bit since we've hit a home run. Think we got that kind of power here in St. Louis? Well, that sweeper was well inside as he was wanting to take that inside one down the line, but not quite the case. Nor is it finding that fastball high in the zone. Quickly down 0-2. And Chacha sits on that sweeper inside, pretty close to where that first one was. Count goes 1-2. Though still behind. And well behind that one, and we'll be well behind that throw. A quick recovery from the plate as Chacha Vauzz is retired with a swinging strikeout. Though we're still getting a lot of fans showing up at these games. Not too sure if this game really has dynamic attendance like in college football, but we could try to bring some of them back in here as the mascot is trying to do. Down 2, it's 3-1, top of the 5th, 2 outs. We got a runner on first. Abbott still in the game. And Chacha a little bit late. Weak contact, that's not what we like to see. Will be another fly out to the right fielder. But chances at getting another hit are running low here. Bottom of the 8th, we are 0 for 3. As we are now down 8-1, and Abbott still in this game. Here's one to Chacha to hit. It's a fastball down the middle, but it is okay contact a little bit early, and it's a ground out. Disappointing the crowd here as a few up in the upper decks have already started to make their way out of the stadium. And it seems they just happened to beat the crowd as we would drop another game. 8-1. Reds take the first game of this 3-game series. As we head on in then to game number 2, Chacha Vauzz. He's starting to wonder if this is a team he really wants to be on for the long haul. Some of their better players really aren't doing much. He's been the one who has to lead them, and he's just the rook. Runner goes here as Chacha sits on that. They do take second, but it's a strike on Vauzz. He doesn't like people encroaching on his stolen bases either. But 0-1 count here. And Vauzz tried to take that sweeper on the inner third down the line, but he only gets a touch of the ball. Count goes 0-2 for Phillips. And the sweeper gets by Chacha, who looked to lay down the bunt. It will be a swinging strikeout there for Vauzz. Perhaps the bunt he should have saved for this at-bat. With 1 out, he's got a man on third and first to try to give the St. Louis Cardinals a bit of the lead. Crowd getting behind Vauzz here. Phillips up to count 35. And there is the hit we were looking for. It's down as Chacha. He's going to look to turn this into a double, and it will be in. Though, will they count that as a double or just a single extended? It is just a single extended. But it plates the leading run here for our St. Louis Cardinals as Ivan Herrera steps up. He's 0 for 1. Runners in scoring range with just 1 out. And that one is going to take a pop-up to the edge of the grass. Ellie gets the catch, and it's now 2 outs. So how about Nolan Gorman then? Who's 0 for 1 in this one with a ground out, 0 for 5 with a home run in this series. He's batting sub 200. So Chacha really has taken that second base spot with a stranglehold. And walks the bases loaded here. Connor Phillips with 2 outs. We could open up this game. Alec Burleson. He has 46 RBIs, 13 home runs. He's batting .287. Let's boost those numbers right here, right now. As that one does not get by Ellie, but Chacha was hustling around. But no extension of the lead. It'll be just the 1. As Chacha steps up to bat yet again, there will be no one on this time. 1 out. Bottom of the 5th, we still got Connor Phillips out here on the mound. And the circle change is snuck under Chacha's bat. A little bit early, but he just misses the level on that swing. Not missing the level on that one, but it was a little bit low. Good timing. Okay contact, but grounds out to second. And as Sam Mole checks into this game with an ERA of 3.66, it's a dynamic challenge for Chacha Vauzz. Bottom of the 8th, leading off. We have found one bit of insurance. We would like to find more. So for Chacha Vauzz, his goal is to get on base. With the high of 95 with a fastball, low of 79 with the sweeper. And that one is low with the fastball. And that one was left up. It's good, but it ran out of juice. Going back to left field, it'll be an easy pop fly to track down. Thought we might have had something there. At least what we do have is a win for the Cardinals as we take it 2-0 over the Reds. We tied this series up going into the final game of the episode. And it seems for Vauzz that average really has settled in around that 270 to 280 mark. We haven't seen it really climb much above that 280 nor fall below 270. Starting this game against Green, Chacha's batting second. And he misses that 99 fastball on the upper outer portion of the zone. We're seeing some decent pitches here from Green. Laid off the slurve, but the splitter finds the bottom third. Count goes 1-2 here for Vauzz. And it's the fastball blown by him. Might have been on the outside there of the plate. But those sometimes you just gotta swing. A strikeout on Vauzz sends us to top of the fourth. With a runner on, it's Ellie De La Cruz. Candelario, he's at the plate. Gonna dribble this one to Chacha. Gonna try to turn another double here on Ellie. And the throw's off the mark. I don't agree. I think that he was in the reticle. MLB The Show. What you doing here to Chacha Vauzz? You've got the man sweating out here for no reason. And it looks like Ellie comes around to take the lead. It wasn't right down the middle, I'll say that, but it definitely wasn't an error type of throw. As that one does find the zone, splitter splits the outside edge. But all these pitches we're getting are on the outside. They're not leaving much of anything down the middle here for Vauzz. Count goes 0-2. There's an easier one to take. But how about you give me a nice meatball in the upper third of the zone? 1-2 count. Taking that one again inside, laying off those sliders. And now he's hit. He didn't offer at those sliders, so then he takes one to the back. Putting Chacha on here for Ivan Herrera, who's 0 for 9 this series. We're just seeing too many of our hitters not doing anything. As Chacha pumps, slides back in though at first. Was hoping to get a wild throw to second. Chacha will take his extra step and then look to get right on back. But Chacha will look to take his extra step with a 1-2 count to Herrera. Green, he goes home, so Chacha goes to second as that one is in play, taking away the double play, but Herrera once again retired, make it 0 for 10. How about Gorman? He seemingly has done pretty well hitting Chacha home, though most of those hits have resulted in outs to himself. Green doesn't go to Chacha, so Chacha goes to third. That could have easily been a double play, but they didn't get the tag on Chacha as he slid into third. Risky, but we take it. How about Alec Burleson then with 47 ribbies, 14 home runs. Can you bring Chacha home? Tie this game up, bottom of the fourth. Well, it's in play. Third this time. Makes the simplest play possible, and that will end the fourth. With the game still in the hands of the Reds. We will follow it with a dynamic challenge as now we need 2 runs. This is why we need our guys to get hits. Whenever Chacha gets on. Now he's 0 for 1 in this one as he did get hit in the back his last time facing Green. And it was that slurve high inside. A lot of these other, though, have been low. What does he offer Chacha? One down the middle, and that's going to be an easy play made then in center field. A few steps forward and a quick retiring of Vauzz. As we jump then to top of the 8th, we're looking to turn a double play to keep this game tight. Will be rolled over to Chacha or rolled over to short. Chacha looks to make the throw, and again, what is with these wild throws? That was definitely on the outer ring of the target. If you hit that in darts, you get at least something. But apparently not there. We do keep the game tight, though, here 2-1 with a runner on for Chacha as he nearly takes his head off, but that is going to put 2-1 here for the Cards. First pitch swinging. It has the crowd amped up here, but again, it's Ivan Herrera, 0 for 3. And he's hit a lot of ground outs. We don't have a chance to steal here. So as the hit comes in, that'll get by the first baseman. Chacha is going to have to look to get back to second. He thought the runner would look to go home. And they get Chacha. He looked to be back in time. Come on now. What's happening here? Oh, we'll move forward nonetheless. Bottom of the ninth, 2-on, as it is 2-1. Michael Hellman. We could use with something big here. We just need one hit into the outfield to tie this game. But with 20 speed, it's going to need to be a good hit. But it's Ellie De La Cruz for the win. Reds take the series as we are struggling to get ourselves back into any sort of good form of play as a team. Chacha, he mostly has recovered, or at least in the case of avoiding stacking up 0 for days. We did have a few in this one, the last 10 batting .282, but in total, have we seen that strike percentage dip back down today? Yes, it did. So we got it back to where it was before it went back up to that 25 mark, maybe a little bit below. So we're doing better there. We are slightly increasing that walk percentage, not by much. Last time I checked, it was 1.3. So very minimal there. A couple errors in this one that honestly I don't think were earned at all, but it's what the show is doing right now to help balance out the play, I think. But right now, Chacha Vauzz, he's not loving his time here with the Cardinals as they just keep losing. Taking a look at the calendar here, so far in the month of June, we have 4 wins. Double that and +1, we have 9 losses. We jump back to May, and we see a lot of gray in here with a little bit of green, but it's just not looking that good. And it has the Cardinals, who were not that long ago, a month and a half ago, atop the NL Central, now all the way at the bottom, 11 games back. It's been a rough stretch. But next month, we do have the All-Star game coming up, or All-Star break, and that should be the time where our agent would come calling. I know a lot of rookies do not request trades, but perhaps that's something we should do. There was a lot of talk about that with the latency for the Cardinals to even call up Chacha. Could still be warranted. If that is the case, let me know in the comments below who you think Chacha Vauzz should be playing for. But before we leave here, we've got 6 tokens. So let's just keep on boosting the plate discipline as much as we can. It looks like it's actually just a boost of 2 here. The rest of these will start to cost 3 tokens, but our overall does go up yet again to a 76. And we did see less weak contact, definitely a lot less completely missed, but we still have room to improve. And make sure you're here to see if Chacha can continue to climb and if the Cardinals can get out of their funk as a team. Hit the bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit that sub button and tap that bell icon. And leave Chacha Vauzz some love. Smash that thumbs up button as he is leading the St. Louis Cardinals right now as a rookie. Highly impressive. And also make sure you are here tomorrow as the Stanford Cardinal head to their 4th straight Pac-12 championship.